Tony Brockmeyer, and we're doing something a little bit different. We're doing interviews with staff, and we're kind of flipping things now. Instead of Dale kind of being the one asking all the questions and doing all the talking, we could kind of put him on the hot seat. But we want you to get to know our staff and our church leadership, and we thought these interviews would be a good way to do that. So, Dale, why don't you take a minute or two and introduce yourself, tell a little bit about yourself. You're not originally from Ohio, so give us a little background on who you are.
Dale McCamish, senior minister. I'm originally from Elizabethtown, Kentucky. Some people know it as E-Town. That's what we grew up calling it, E-Town, Kentucky. And I started in ministry kind of in my high school years. I started interning when I was still a junior and senior in high school, and just felt at that time that God was kind of calling me into ministry. Had a couple of 2-year ministry stints. And then I got invited back to my home church in E-Town to be a children's minister. I was there for about 7 years, and then I was called here to Wilmington to preach. And I've been here just recently, past my 10-year anniversary. Yeah. So I'm not 20 like you are, but I'm trying to get there.
You'll get there.
I grew up under a minister that was there 23 years. And so I just saw the benefit of long-term ministry. When I was interviewed here at Wilmington, a lot of the ministers, including yourself, you were in it for the long haul. And that's kind of the ministry I wanted to be a part of. So I'm very grateful that I've been here 10 years, and I hope God continues to allow me to serve here even longer. Develop relationships, friendships, and continue to put down roots for my family. My family is now, my kids, they were a little bit younger when they moved here. They've now lived here longer in Ohio than they had lived in Kentucky. Okay. So that's kind of a neat thing for us.
Yeah, good. So probably a lot of people don't know, or maybe they're not aware that you were a children's minister at one point. So tell us, give us your best children's ministry story.
Oh, wow. I must say that I am better at a preaching ministry and getting just to talk and teach than I was at children's ministry. But I enjoyed teaching children. The worst thing probably I ever did, I had kindergarten through fifth graders, for example, in one class. This story sticks out to me, but we were talking about how Jesus is going to come back and he's going to take us all to heaven. And this was going to be a beautiful thing. And I just got a little bit too deep with the kids and talked about how this earth is going to all burn up. Everything's going to burn up. And then we're going to have a new heaven. And that scares kids. That scares kids. And then they get really sad when their puppies and their stuffed animals and their homes all gone, burned up. So that was, as a children's minister, you make some mistakes sometimes. But I really felt like if I couldn't make a kid cry every Sunday, I wasn't doing my job. That's not true. I just couldn't help myself. But that particular Sunday morning, a couple of kids left crying.
Oh, okay.
They came back. But
so if you have children, we probably should have told you to preview this part. No, yeah, that's good. So you've been here 10 years. Mm-hmm. What have you noticed has been the biggest change in our church over the 10 years?
Some of those years I'm getting to know the congregation, getting to know the community, and some years I feel more comfortable, like I'm trying to almost fitting in. I think Wilmington's close-knit, got a connection with lots of relationships, but the community has changed a lot since I've been here. I arrived not too long after DHL left. When I arrived, people's severances packages were running out. And so it seemed like as I was arriving, Wilmington was going through a mass exodus of the community. There was a big vacuum that was left. And then that vacuum got filled. The housing market eventually rebounded here. The community filled back up. But it's all different people. So I'd say one of the biggest changes is our community looks different, way different than when I arrived 10 years ago. We're grateful the economy rebounded here. We're grateful that we hit some kind of low points, but we're also we're grateful that we rebounded from those low points. So I'd say the biggest change that I've noticed is just how the community dynamics have changed. It isn't anybody's Wilmington they grew up with. When I was studying this place to come 10 years ago, there was a report in 1996 that Wilmington was one of the top 10 best places to grow up in the United States. Well, after the economy crashed for everybody, those statistics change, but it's still a great place to raise a family, get connected, and learn how to follow Christ in. It's still a great community for that.
Okay. Yeah. So you went to school to prepare for ministry. I'm sure they did not prepare you for a pandemic, correct?
No, it wasn't.
I would think. So how did you how did you survive the pandemic? How did you keep your sanity during the change with your kids being at home for school? And
That's been hard.
yeah.
Great question. I don't know that I've kept my sanity so well. It's been frustrating. Nick mentioned in his interview there's been a steep learning curve, and we've all had to learn how to do new things. We've had to learn how to do an online community that we weren't really that connected with. We've had to learn how to teach online, learn online. We were doing those things in little bits, but not like the only thing that we were doing. We've had to adjust to not leaving the house as often. We've had to adjust to wearing masks. None of these things are problems, and none of these things are difficult to do. But when they're all happening at once, it can be very frustrating, and it can burn up our patience quickly. So one of the things I think that we've kind of adjusted as a family. I don't know that's adjustment, but there's just more intentionality about having a movie night with the family where we're all together. When restaurants started opening up, some of it's being just excited to be able to go out again, or getting food and going to the park. We ate at the park the other day. I don't know if there hadn't been a pandemic if we'd ever eat at the park again. But we got a blanket, we got some fast food, we went out, ate in the park on a blanket. And that's just something that helps us stay connected, helps us stay grounded, helps us stay in each other's lives, asking questions, talking, having conversations. My kids have had to adjust. And they're doing okay. They're concerned about the extracurricular activities if they're going to happen. They're concerned about school. I think all parents are concerned about school. I know we're concerned that school's going to start and then close down again possibly, and we don't want that. We want people to be safe. We want people to be healthy, and we don't want anybody to get sick, and we want our kids back in school. And I don't know if we can do both of those things.
Yeah.
I don't know if that answered the question, but we're just we have the mindset that we just have to keep adjusting.
Yeah.
And I don't know that it'll ever be normal again, but if we have the mindset to keep adjusting, it helps us. It helps us not be shocked when we got to make one more change.
Yeah. Good. All right. So those were kind of heavy questions. So, what do you love about the Women Church of Christ? You've been here for 10 years, and you've seen us grow and change in different community. But being the senior pastor, being the leader, that's a unique role that nobody else has, right? So, what is it that you love about this church?
Oh, two things. I love our church's generosity. If there is a need, especially a financial need, and our church finds out about it, overall we just respond. Our church loves to help people, but so I need to do a better job of doing specific call to actions to get our church help, because when the call to action is there and the specific need is there, our church just really steps up. Whether it's families that need a meal, or kids that need some clothes, or if it's we've helped with camp or New Life Clinic, or we just respond that way. The other thing I really like is our staff and our elders want to equip people, and we want to equip people to be able to do ministry. We want to help other churches do ministry. We feel like, I think as our church, we don't feel like we are competing with other churches. We feel like we help complete other churches. So I know your wife, when she has extra VBS material, she'll loan it out to other churches. I know you'll loan some of your material to other youth ministries. Our church has hosted other ministries to come into our building that don't necessarily belong to this congregation, because we want to just keep equipping and being available for people to grow the kingdom. And to do ministry. So those two things, equipping people to do ministry, even other churches, to help complete and grow the kingdom, and being generous with, especially financially generous. Our church has just been so good that way. I think that's going to continue. That's the heart. Generosity is a gift from God, and I think our church has that. We just keep growing and trying to do the best we can, keep pressing forward, toward the goal of Christ. And I think our church has done that. That's what I love about our church.
Great. Good. Well, if you have any questions for Dale, there will be an email below, and we would love for you to send those in. We'll do our best to get back with you. Kind of the point of all this was for you to get to know us a little bit better. So if you have questions, if you want to know more about the church, about how you can get connected, we would love to hear from you. You can hit that link for an email. You can connect through our Connect card, text 937-382-0904, and then text the word connect. We would love to hear from you. So thanks for watching. Send in those questions. Maybe you want more embarrassing stories from Dale's children's ministry time, or great wisdom that he has on being a parent or a leader. But thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, if you wanted to know more, please connect with us.